One line's going to come this way. One row.
Rise for the presentation of colors and singing of the national anthem.
the dawn's early light was so proudly we hailed, at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Please be seated. Good morning. I'd like to welcome all of you to the graduation ceremony for the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine class of 2017. It's my honor to introduce the president of WVSOM, Dr. Michael Edelman.
Thank you, Dr. Bridges. Please join me in thanking Sergeant Long and the Greenbrier East Junior ROTC Color Guard. I also want to thank Jeremiah Haynes for singing the national anthem today. Wasn't he amazing? For those that aren't aware, he's a graduate today. And please also help me thank Jeff Bryan and the Greenbrier River Brass Ensemble. Jeff, thank you. And good morning, distinguished guests, students, members of the faculty, administrative staff, employees, members of the graduating class of 2017's families and friends. Welcome to the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine's 40th commencement ceremony. This morning, I'm pleased and honored to be joined on the platform by many distinguished guests. I'd like to take a moment at this time to recognize a few individuals, and I ask that you please hold your applause until we're finished. Joining me on the platform today are O.J. Bales, D.O., one of the 4 founders of WVSOM. Charles Davis, D.O., Chair of the Board of Governors of WVSOM. Our keynote speaker, Congressman Evan Jenkins. Mark Boydell, D.O., President of the WVSOM Alumni Association. Clark Milton, D.O., President of the West Virginia Osteopathic Medical Association. Craig Boisford, D.O., Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean. Jim Nemitz, Ph.D., Vice President for Administration and External Relations. I'd also like to recognize several individuals who are friends and supporters of WVSOM and who are also in the audience today. Again, please hold your applause. Members of our Board of Governors in the audience are Randy Short, D.O., John Garlitz, D.O., and Mr. Fred Early. Larry Ware, Vice President for Finance and Facilities. Marilee Butcher, Associate Vice President for Administrative Affairs. Leslie Bixler, Associate Vice President for Human Resources. John Manchester, the Mayor of Lewisburg. Delegate Stephen Baldwin, and Delegate George Ambler, and my wife, Dr. Cheryl Edelman. Please join me in welcoming all of these people today. Graduates, it's my pleasure to welcome you on this very special day. Today, you're going to join the ranks of the medical world of osteopathic physicians. Before going any further, I'd like to ask the class of 2017 to please rise. Class of 2017, I know that in this audience today you have parents, spouses, friends, and relatives who have assisted and supported you over these years as you pursued your dream of becoming an osteopathic physician. This is your chance to publicly show your thanks and appreciation. Please join me in applauding these very important people. Thank you. You may be seated. You are about to become graduates of one of the finest medical schools in this country. WVSOM has a reputation as a leader in graduating physicians of the highest caliber. Our school has been nationally ranked by U.S. News & World Report for 19 consecutive years. Yes. This year, we're 14th in the nation in family medicine and rural medicine, and we rank 5th in the percentage of all graduates entering primary care residency programs. In addition, academic medicine ranked WVSOM as the #1 school in the United States for producing physicians who practice in rural communities. I'm extremely proud of the school and what you and those that have come before you have accomplished. You too should be proud of your individual accomplishments, that of your class and of your school. Quality, excellence, commitment, and caring. That's what makes an excellent osteopathic physician. And we expect no less of each of you. You will have patients' lives in your hands. That's an awesome responsibility. But I know that you're prepared for that role. I'm confident that you will continue to represent yourselves and the school with the same level of enthusiasm, service, and professionalism that you've demonstrated over these past 4 years. You now embark upon a new chapter in your life. As you enter residency programs, I wish you all the best. Good luck and congratulations, class of 2017. I'm very proud of you. Congratulations. I'd now like to introduce our first speaker. Please welcome the chair of our Board of Governors, Dr. Charles Davis. Dr. Davis.
Greetings from the Board of Governors. What an honor and privilege for me to be standing here in front of you today. Representing the Board of Governors, I can say that we as a board have high expectations for the class of 2017. You have sacrificed much to be sitting here today, from first in the class to last. You are all osteopathic physicians. Congratulations. And as someone who knows a lot of you personally, I can't begin to tell you how proud I am of you. You all made it. You crossed the finish line. Well done. Well done. I look at you sitting there in the spring of your careers as I reflect in the winter of mine. I have a couple of things I'd like to share with you. A couple challenges. What makes you tick? What's your purpose? Is it prestige? Is it possessions? Is it money? Is it people? Is it to serve? I hope so. Serve your family, serve your friends, serve your community, serve your patients. The word serve comes from the Greek word doulos, and it means devoted to another to the disregard of one's own interest. One more time. Devoted to another to the disregard of one's own interest. Be osteopathic physicians who serve. Serve those around you. Don't practice medicine to be served. Practice medicine to serve. Be servant leaders. Be passionate physicians. Passion. You know, when you work hard for something that you don't care about, it's stress. But when you work hard for something that you love, that's your passion. For when your purpose and your passion collide, you'll know it. Patients will notice it. They will be drawn to it. And you will change lives. Again, a truly heartfelt congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Next, please welcome the president of the WVSOM Alumni Association, Dr. Mark Boydell.
Good morning, class of 2017. It is my pleasure to stand here as president of the WVSOM Alumni Association, congratulate you, and to welcome you as the newest members of our Alumni Association. Well done. I can never attend a graduation without remembering my own graduation. I remember the sense of pride. I remember the sense of accomplishment. I remember the sense of relief. I remember the fear that I would fall as I walked across the stage. I remember the sense of wonder when I looked at that diploma and realized that my name was actually on it. But most of all, the thing that I remember the most was the itching. Yeah, that's right, the itching. You see, my last rotation was with Dr. Greg Wallace, and it was pediatrics. And while working with Dr. Wallace, I discovered that I did not have immunity to the varicella virus. I caught chicken pox. Well, actually not plural, it was just one, but it was 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighed 200 pounds. However, the last lesion was crusted over by graduation and I was able to participate. But the synthetic gowns, the heat of May, and the pox conspired to put me in agony. And I remember trying to be dignified and scratch everywhere all at once. I hope your graduation experience is just as memorable, but a lot less paretic. Today, I salute you on your achievement. I encourage you to become involved in your alumni association. Your alumni association is your osteopathic family. It is your people. It is your voice. Remember that as osteopathic physicians, you've been taught that mind, body, and spirit interact to create a whole and wonderful being. As Aristotle said, a person is more than the sum of his parts. You are more than the sum of your parts. As an osteopathic physician, you touch people. When you touch people, you touch lives. Congratulations, welcome to the family, and may God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Boydell. Our next speaker is the president of the West Virginia Osteopathic Medical Association. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Clark Milton.
Well, I suppose you get the message. Welcome. Feeling honored to address such a distinguished audience, and on behalf of the West Virginia Osteopathic Medical Association, I wish you the warmest welcome and congratulations on your successful completion of the requirements of the degree of Doctor of Osteopathy. Now, I know you aren't on this journey alone, and I commend your supporting parents, your significant others, and of course, the WVSOM community. For 115 years, the West Virginia Osteopathic Medical Association has served as the voice of the osteopathic physicians, residents, and medical students in West Virginia. 115 years. I began to ponder that 115 years, and I did a little critical research into the literature of the time. And Dr. Boydell set me up really well here. You'll see how this works. I discovered, number one, severe mania, and believe me, there's a fine line between excessive salivation and mania, so be careful tonight, was treated by placing the feet in a bucket of leeches. Isn't that a pleasant picture? Number two, Dr. Boydell, itching of the nose was invariably a sign of worms. So those of you out there right now scratching, I know your diagnosis. And the treatment? It was an invigorating tonic at the time. The apothecary instructions: take a gallon jug, fill it half with wild cherries, and top it off with Jamaican rum. Take 2 tablespoons twice a day, but the disclaimer: discontinue as early as possible so as not to develop the undue appetite for the spirits of liquor. With the exception of the tonic, aren't you glad it's 2017? You graduates, in my opinion, are entering a fundamental revolution in osteopathic medicine and medicine in general. Precision medicine driven by the genome, epigenome, biogenome, influenced by genetic modifications using techniques such as the clustered regular interspace short palindromic repeats, CRISPR, are game changers. The times, they are a-changing. The journey will exhilarate. As a WVSOM graduate and president of the West Virginia Osteopathic Medical Association, I'm pleased to grant you graduates membership in our organization, and guess what? There'll be no fees or dues. Our mission, wait till year 3, we'll make up for it. Our mission is to advocate for DOs, not only in West Virginia, but on a national level. We serve the DO community. I encourage you to maintain communications with WVOMA, either through our website or our association office. Man, my nose itches. Where's that tonic? I toast you for a wonderful journey. Remember, the journey is the destination.
Thank you, Dr. Milton. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker. Evan Jenkins was elected by the people of West Virginia to the United States House of Representatives in 2014. A native of Huntington, West Virginia, Congressman Jenkins is proud to call West Virginia his home. Beginning in 1994, he was elected for 3 terms to serve in the West Virginia House of Delegates. Then in 2002, he was elected to the West Virginia Senate, where he also served 3 terms. Congressman Jenkins has a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration, as well as a law degree. He previously served as the executive director of the West Virginia State Medical Association and taught business law at Marshall University. Evan and his wife Elizabeth live in Huntington with their 3 children. It is an honor to have him with us today. He is a true friend of WVSOM. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our keynote speaker, Congressman Evan Jenkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. Congratulations, class of 2017. What a wonderful accomplishment. It struck me just a minute ago, listening to Dr. Davis give his welcome remarks. I know you've seen Dr. Davis over the years here, but for many of your families, for many of your support network, for those who have come a long way to Lewisburg, to Greenbrier County, to West Virginia, you're seeing, many of you for the first time, the love and the support that the faculty, the board, the leadership, the administration, the community have shown for you. So those tears and emotion from Dr. Davis, I think, struck an appropriate chord and sends a clear message about how much we love you, how much we care for you. So congratulations, class of 2017. Now, I've had the chance to see Delegate Baldwin and Delegate Ambler, Mayor Manchester, my old boss, Dr. Adam Brenning in the back. This is family. These are people who care desperately and deeply about you. And Jeremiah, I don't know when you walked onto this campus 4 years ago if they knew you had those kinds of pipes, but that was a terrific, terrific national anthem. Congratulations. Now, I do have one beef about today. Now, when they were so kind to call and invite me a couple of months ago, and I said, what an honor, what an honor. And then they called about 2 months ago and said, Evan, how big is your head? And I thought, my goodness, is it the fact that I'm able to speak to the graduating class? And they said, oh no, we just want to measure for the cap. We want to know how big your head is. Well, when I walked in and I saw Dr. Foster's hat, I don't remember that hat on the choice list. Standing out there when the graduates were walking by, and how many came out of their queue, out of line, to give Dr. Foster and Dr. Edelman and others high fives. You can tell the enthusiasm and the excitement. Well, they asked me to say, 15 minutes. I've got news for you. This is going to be less than 10. Let me say just a couple of things. I truly am so honored to be with you, celebrating this culmination of these 4 years. I've been on campus many times over the years. I've seen the incredible bricks and mortar program that has been built here. The facilities are stunning. And I also know the faculty and administration's commitment to advancing the art and science of medicine. And yes, I've even attended a few of the tapings of Abracadabra over the years. I'll be honest though, no more visits to the anatomy lab for me. But most importantly, I know the drive and the passion you've put in to pursuing becoming an osteopathic physician. For the last 4 years, you've been buried in your studies and developing your skills through your clinical rotations. Here's how Hippocrates summed up the healing profession. The art of long, life is short, opportunity fleeting, experiment dangerous, judgment difficult. I have the greatest admirations for your commitment to your education, your profession, and your calling. congratulations on becoming a doctor of osteopathic medicine. Now, you've heard in the welcomes a little bit of a theme, and I want to continue to play off that. Winston Churchill said, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." I have the privilege of working with many physicians, and I truly believe that medicine is a calling. It is a job with difficult hours, tough cases, and not one to be embarked on lightly. And I believe each of you is here today because you feel a calling to serve, a calling to heal, a calling to give back. Being a physician gives you an insight into so many aspects of health: physical, mental, emotional. You will treat your patients' illnesses, but you will also treat heavy hearts and grieving minds. You have been trained to alleviate pain in whatever form it may come and wherever it may be found. At a difficult time in a person's life, you are part of the solution. You give hope back to someone who has been suffering. You give comfort to someone in pain. You represent the best of what it means to be human, to have sympathy and empathy for another human being, to listen, to allow them to be heard, to treat, to allow them to heal, to do what you can, and of course, do no harm. What power it is to be able to change someone's life for the better. But the gift of good health, as we know, sometimes is too hard to find. And it is a gift that you can help someone else find. For generations, citizens have looked to physicians in times of hardship. Whether you realize it or not, you are already leaders. Perhaps this thought is a little daunting to you because I know the sciences you studied in school were biology and chemistry, not political. But you were always the smartest kids in the class, and with your hard work comes great responsibility. What I've seen over my 15 years as the head of one of your professional societies is that physicians have the ability to heal not just the individual, but the family. And here's my point. You also have the ability to heal a community. We are in the heart of Appalachia. Many of you are from Appalachia. The challenges of rural communities, lack of specialists, lack of primary care. Thank you for what you do in the School of Osteopathic Medicine, being a national leader in rural primary care. This is where the difference you can make will be particularly impactful, where you can lift up one person and by doing so lift up a whole family and lift up a community. It was said the physician must give heed to the region in which the patient lives. That is to say, to its type of peculiarities. The needs of rural physicians are great. So are the challenges. Some of you may feel a calling to go to other parts of the country to work and live, but it is my hope that some of you will return or stay right here. Our state has so much to offer you, and I know you have so much to offer our state. You are embarking on careers at a unique time, as was referenced. There's no controversy in saying our healthcare system has its shortcomings and needs repair. The only disagreement is in how we fix it. You will play a critical role in designing the healthcare system of the future. You have a voice. Let that voice be heard. But regardless of politics and policies, the guidepost must be doing in what's right for the patient. As you help heal people, many of you will feel compelled to take a larger role in your communities. Physicians are seen as pillars in every community, a trusted leader who has others' interests at heart. I encourage you to take this role seriously and with the gravity it deserves. You will have an opportunity to influence the lives of others, not just your patients. Public service doesn't mean running for office, it means serving one's neighbor. Healing the sick and caring for others truly is public service. To heal the community, to heal the sick, to make a person strong, I know the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine has equipped each and every one of you with the skills you need to make the difference in the lives of the people that you touch. You have a strong network here, making a difference in Greenbrier County and in West Virginia. And as physicians, you have it in you to put service above self. And not just in the clinic or the hospital, but whenever and wherever the need arises. Last year, your commitment to help others was on full display in the immediate aftermath of the June floods. You mobilized and were involved in assisting in so many ways, from giving tetanus immunizations to supporting of the work of the National Guard. I still have a picture of the mountain of wet, muddy books at the Raynell Public Library. You held a book drive to restock that community's library shelves. I saw Mayor Andy just the other day and asked her how things are going in Raynell. And she said, you know what? We're starting to heal. We're starting to get back on our feet. So it sounds like thanks to the care you provided, Raynell's going to make it. I hope the lessons you learned during these 4 years and that tragic episode last June will carry you through times in your life and will be a reminder of what your little gestures will make a big difference in the lives of others. I wish all of you here only the very best. Haley Mills said, "A tremendous amount of healing is in your hands." A tremendous amount of healing is in your hands. I wish all of you the very best. May God bless you both and in your work in life. Congratulations, class of 2017.
Wow, thank you, Congressman Jenkins. I'd now like to introduce the president of the class of 2017, Miles Medina, who will deliver the class address. Miles?
Good morning. For those of you that made the long trip to do business here in Lewisburg today, thank you and welcome. For those of you who are watching this online, feel free to play this at double speed later for efficiency. Family, friends, and faculty, welcome to the Class of 2017 Commencement Ceremony. Today marks an incredible milestone in not just our education or our careers, but our lives as well. The road we've shared has been an incredible one, but it was never easy. As we sit here, I can't help but realize that this day would not be possible without all the love and support from all of you along the way. Family and friends, you have endured our fears when we first started. A significant amount of you watched from afar as we trekked through these last 4 years. Many of you received our phone calls of worry and anxiety prior to boards and exams. But your boundless love and support cushioned us from our falls, and for that, thank you. Faculty of WVSOM, as I recall, you said this is like drinking water out of a fire hose. Sure. If your fire hose was the size of a water reservoir, that would be fairly accurate. As first years, you watch fearful yet determined students grow. Terrifying anatomy lab, our first OPP labs. We asked ourselves, do we get to do this every Wednesday morning? Second year, our first experiences in student clinic, the anticipation and dread of site selection, and let's not forget the almighty boards. Third year, our first clinical rotations, ecstatic to finally figure out what specialty we would thrive in. OSCEs, even more boards. Then fourth year, stressful and lonely audition rotations, surviving the match. When we left Lewisburg for our third year, we left each other knowing that today would be the day we would rejoin as a full class for the last time. Yet here we are, ready to graduate. You all have been there every step of the way. Our journey has been long and rewarding. It has truly broadened our horizons and opened up doors previously thought to be impossible. I hope you're all proud of whom you've molded to become physicians. Family, friends, and faculty, our success today is not simply the summation of one individual effort, but rather a collaboration of all of us who are here today. I am confident when I say from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much. At our time here, we experienced a myriad of emotions. Some of us found the love of our lives, while some of us lost loved ones from afar. Some of us left well-developed careers, while some of us knew medicine was always their path. Some of us got so frustrated in our studies that we felt like we could knock a catacombs door down. Though these emotions varied from one individual to another, the one constant that is common with all of us is that we found something incredibly powerful and frankly surprising. That something was family. Our cohesiveness and ability to band together in times of need are unparalleled and are what makes us truly special. In the summer of 2016, Lewisburg and surrounding counties were ravaged by floodwaters that left a trail of loss and destruction. What did we do? Even being away from campus, we became organized and set up donations to bring back to friends and loved ones affected by such a tragedy. January 2015, a diesel truck spills and contaminates the water of Greenbrier County. What did we do? We offered each other places to stay outside of Lewisburg, and we bought water for each other. We even boiled water for each other. August 2014, the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. We had one of the largest assemblies in conjunction with the Lewisburg Fire Department to support the ALS Ice Bucket cause. Fall 2013. We learned the entire musculoskeletal system in just 4 days. Okay, well maybe we didn't do that. But you catch my drift. Whether it's making Quizlets for each other or waiting for Bradley Marple to finally finish his chart so we can finally do the directed study. We always had each other's backs. Do you all remember the summer after first year? How ecstatic we all were to finally come back together for second year. That's a class that has the bonds of family. We have listened to every lawnmower during the most inconvenient of times together. We have heard Kyle Diller mention Lyme disease for every diagnosis question possible. And we have asked ourselves countlessly, seriously, another warmly email from Miles Medina? Colleagues, I want you to think about the people who are sitting beside you in this room. Let's take a moment here. This is your WVSOM family who has taken every exam with you. Your WVSOM family who has climbed through the trenches with you ever since we first started. who has been there for you, who has studied endless hours, sleepless nights, drank monster after monster, espresso after espresso, in hopes that we would get to be here today and say, we did it. When we look back on this day, I want you not to remember our success or that we're going to be physicians, but this moment. The last time we stand as a class, remembering how much we have been there for each other. Remembering that the love and support that we've showed for each other these last 4 years is the same compassion we will show for our future patients. It is that empathy that has helped us achieve what we have today. It's what made us strong, resilient, and relentless in our pursuit to become physicians. All of you look fantastic in velvet, but I have a feeling you're all going to look even better with longer white coats. Class of 2017, we are moments away from crossing this stage and grasping our well-deserved success. Take it. It's yours. Be prideful in what you have achieved these last 4 years and shake any shadow of a doubt that you have. Excuse me. I am so proud of us. It has been an absolute honor to be your president. But it's more honorable to be part of this class. You will always be my family. Class of 2017. Class of 2017. Congratulations. We did it.
Thank you, Miles. You bring tears to everybody's eyes, and with the leadership that you've shown, you know, this is one of the best classes we've ever had. All of you are just amazing people. Really are. And Miles is right, you're family. You're family to all of us, and we hope that you'll all come back and spend time here and spend time with each other. Okay, will the faculty, administrative staff, and WVSOM employees please stand? Class of 2017, in recognition of all the hard work done by these individuals on your behalf, in recognition of their wisdom, guidance, and support during your 4 years at WVSOM, please join me in giving these faculty and staff members a hand. I would also be remiss if I didn't recognize several very important groups of people without whom this morning ceremony could not be possible. The work and preparation put forth on countless tasks have made this morning's celebration a success. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking our maintenance and ground crew, our housekeeping staff, media services, communications, our food service staff at the O Cafe, and the individual staff members who put this event together. If you would all please stand if you were part of that. Okay, it's showtime. Now for the presentation of the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine, I ask Dr. Craig Boisford to join me at the podium.
Well, greetings and congratulations to the class of 2017. This is an exciting day for all of you and for your families. It was 35 years ago that I anxiously waited to hear my name called to receive my diploma and to become an osteopathic physician. I want you all to know that the hours of studying, hard work, have indeed been worth it, and you're entering into a rewarding profession. I want to extend my congratulations and best wishes to you and welcome you to the osteopathic profession. I know you'll carry yourself well as you begin your postgraduate training and continue to create a wonderful reputation for yourselves as well as WVSOM. And now, will the graduating class please rise? Ladies and gentlemen, these candidates wearing the gold stalls represent the top 10% of their class and are graduating with academic honors. Dr. Edelman, the men and women standing before you have fulfilled all the requirements as prescribed by the American Osteopathic Association, the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine Board of Governors, and the faculty of the school. I therefore present them to you for conferring of the degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine Board of Governors, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine with all of the rights, privileges, honors, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Michael Adishak will be hooded by his father, Stephen Adishak, MD. Olabade James Agaja will be hooded by Edward Tiley, MD. Barika Ahmad will be hooded by Jane Canterbury, DO. James Lewis Akers will be hooded by Byron Dodson, DO. Shannon Ashley Armistead will be hooded by her parents, Amelia Rausch, DO, and Hall Armistead, DO.
Lee Barker will be hooded by his aunt, Christina Hawkins, D.O. Jeremy Bertrand will be hooded by Coy Flowers, MD. Kelly Biedenharn will be hooded by her uncle, Daryl Jones, Ph.D. Tim Bickman will be hooded by Mike Peterson, D.O. Suzanne Aylin Bilgesu will be hooded by her father, Hussein Bilgesu, Ph.D. Jason Blankenship will be hooded by Jessica McCauley, D.O. Justin Blankenship will be hooded by Art Rubin, D.O. Taryn Bowling will be hooded by her sister, Tiffany Bowling, J.D. Jonathan A. Bond will be hooded by his uncle, John Kudlak, D.O. Marshall Bowes will be hooded by Ralph Wood, D.O. Scott Craig Ian Borison II will be hooded by his parents, Scott Borison, J.D., and Janet Borison, J.D. Brent Brash II will be hooded by Dwight Bundy, D.O. Brandon Brooks will be hooded by Frank Swisher, DO.
Katie Danielle Buckner will be hooded by Dwight Bundy, DO. Nicholas Barak will be hooded by his father, Theodore Barak, JD. Sheena Marie Willison Buskirk will be hooded by Gary Wagoner, MD. Alexandra Boxer Chitty will be hooded by her parents, Karen Chitty and Robert Chitty, Karen Chitty, MD, and Robert Chitty, JD. Timothy Cobb will be hooded by Jimmy Adams, DO. Zachary Ryan Conrad will be hooded by Todd Lares, MD. Julianne Corcoran will be hooded by James Wadding, DO. Nicholas James Coriaso will be hooded by Edward Tiley, MD. Savannah Ray Chapesky Damaris will be hooded by Colin Magoo, MD. Kayla Dirth will be hooded by her cousin, Sherry Young, DO, and her uncle, Harry Young, Jr., DO. be hooded by Dwight Bundy, D.O. Melissa Denice will be hooded by her father, Eric Denice, EDD. Kyle Diaz will be hooded by Robert Foster, D.O. Dominic DiDomenico will be hooded by Dwight Bundy, D.O. Kyle Diller will be hooded by Timothy Stonecipher, D.O. Michael Ebert will be hooded by Frank Swisher, D.O. Stephen Andrew Eds will be hooded by his father, Gerald Eds, M.D. Morgan Efaw will be hooded by Clifford Myers, D.O. Vivian Ekachukwu will be hooded by Art Rubin, D.O. Jermaine Ikabina will be hooded by his brother, Eddie Ikabina, Farm D.
Bethany Ellen Vargas Elza will be hooded by Frank Swisher, D.O. Graham Trent Endler will be hooded by Alexander Nagy, MD. Amanda Eng will be hooded by her father, Kenneth Eng, D.O. Samuel English will be hooded by James Wadding, D.O. James Edward Erickson will be hooded by his mother, Deborah Erickson, MD. Amir Salar Aslami will be hooded by his father, Yadi Aslami, PhD. Joseph Hossein Smiley will be hooded by his sister, Mitra Smiley, D.O., MPP. Christopher Sean Evans will be hooded by Ralph Wood, D.O. Christopher Vern Falslove will be hooded by Cameron Meyer, D.O. Chelsea Lynn Fager will be hooded by Susan Miles, D.O. Charles Farrell will be hooded by James Wadding, D.O. Christopher Finch will be hooded by his father, Stephen Finch, DDS. Brandy Finley will be hooded by Ryan Jones, MD. Elizabeth Ann Finken will be hooded by her mother, Judith Featherstone, MD, and Suzanne Laurel, DO. John Ford will be hooded by Kurt Schmidt, DO, and Sasha Ritter, DO. Samantha Jo Frazier will be hooded by her sister, Sarah Frazier, MD. Patricia Taylor Friedrich will be hooded by Frank Swisher, DO. Jason Frisbee will be hooded by Dwight Bundy, DO. Aaron Michael Freimeyer will be hooded by Frank Swisher, DO. Stephanie Lynn Fuentes will be hooded by Jandy Hanna, PhD.
James Casey Garvin will be hooded by Art Rubin, DO. Abigail Reed Geisler will be hooded by her sister, Jessa Reed, PhD. Ellen McNeil George will be hooded by her uncle, Victor George, JD, and Aunt Stephanie Culver, MD. Anastasia Nicole Jeevis will be hooded by her mother, Kelly Jeevis, MD. Amanda Christine Gibson will be hooded by Ronald Bowe, MD. Ava Giuliano will be hooded by her aunt, Margaret Giuliano, JD. Annie Elizabeth Goho will be hooded by her father, Curtis Goho, DDS. Vinodini Namratha Gowda will be hooded by Dwight Bundy, DO. Marina Gurgis will be hooded by her mother, Amal Gurgis, MD. Sherry Raouf Gurgis will be hooded by her mother, Ekram Gurgis, MD, and her brother, John Gurgis, DMD. Albina Guri will be hooded by Frank Swisher, DO. Andrew Corey Gush will be hooded by Thomas White, DO. Amar Hafar will be hooded by his father, Muhammad Hafar, MD. Jeremiah Francis Haynes will be hooded by Rayanne Carrier, PhD. Mateen Huck will be hooded by his sister, Uniza Huck, MD, and his brother, Harun Huck, MD. Tyler Paul Harkleroad will be hooded by Frank Swisher, DO. Rachel Elizabeth Harris will be hooded by Andrea Nazar, DO. James Thomas Hartney will be hooded by his father, Thomas Hartney, MD. Courtney Heim will be hooded by Ralph Wood, DO. Nicole Held will be hooded by Renee Caslow, DO.
Chelsea Lynn Hill will be hooded by her sister, Holly Hill, DO. Adam Clay Howerton will be hooded by his brother, Daniel Howerton, DO. Jordan Allen Hunter will be hooded by Ekram Gurgis, MD. Ali Imtiaz will be hooded by James Wadding, DO. Colin Johnson will be hooded by his father, John Johnson, MD. Christine Kaminskis will be hooded by Cameron Conard, DO. Tyler Ross Kelly will be hooded by Frank Swisher, DO. Emerson Sumner Kendall will be hooded by his father, Kenyon Kendall, DO. Christopher Paul Kelly will be hooded by Frank Swisher, DO. Nadia K. Khan will be hooded by her husband, Usman Akhtar, MD. Catherine Kirby will be hooded by James Wadding, DO. Sarah Jane Ramadka Klinger will be hooded by her brother, Michael Ramadka, MD. Zachary David Klinger will be hooded by his brother-in-law, Michael Romadka, MD. Brianna Kobe will be hooded by Evan Condi, DO. Ethan Edward Kobe will be hooded by Evan Condi, DO. Maria Kolmakova will be hooded by James Wadding, DO. Nicole Larkin will be hooded by her father, David Larkin, MD. Andrew Lee will be hooded by his mother, Elenita Espinali, MD. Irina Lev will be hooded by James Wadding, DO. Justin Arthur Lindsay will be hooded by Charles Schaefer, MD.
Susan Lucas will be hooded by her brother-in-law, Michael Ernst, MD. Alan Merton will be hooded by Richard Hayes, Jr., MD. Stacy Mahady will be hooded by Art Rubin, DO. Bradley Marple will be hooded by Art Rubin, DO. David Mesenter will be hooded by Art Rubin, DO. Derek Allen Matt will be hooded by his father, Dennis Matt, PhD. Bryce Allen McDaniel will be hooded by Shireen Compton, JD. Emmanuel Alexander McDonald will be hooded by Celia McClay, D.O. Nicholas Mead will be hooded by Art Rubin, D.O. Miles Medina will be hooded by his sister, Melissa Medina, M.D. Avery Elizabeth McKenzie will be hooded by James Wadding, D.O. Lisa Marie Midbow will be hooded by Frank Swisher, D.O. Paige Ann Monfort will be hooded by her sister, Natasha Monfort, D.O. Micah Robert Moore will be hooded by Robert Foster, D.O. Jennifer Harden Murillo will be hooded by her husband, Jeffrey Murillo, D.O., Andrea Stark, D.O., and Kathy Baylog, D.O. Christina Araj Much will be hooded by Deborah Schmidt, D.O., and Robert Foster, D.O. Jake Much will be hooded by Andrea Nazar, D.O., and Deborah Schmidt, D.O. Colleen Miranda Newbert will be hooded by her brother, Captain Zachary Newbert, D.O. Devin Michael O'Hara will be hooded by his father, Brendan O'Hara, MD. Onanye Chukwu Okorji will be hooded by Edward Bridges, PhD.
Colin Page Olsevic will be hooded by Samuel Laux, the second MD. Charles Logan Overturf, the fourth, will be hooded by his uncle, David Oliver, D.O. Gregory Stephen Parkins will be hooded by Edward Tiley, MD. Chirag Patel will be hooded by Kenneth O'Connor, PhD. Megan Elizabeth Pauley will be hooded by her sister, Stephanie Wright, DPT. Abby Gail Phillips will be hooded by Emmanuel Ballas, D.O. Melissa Price will be hooded by Ralph Wood, D.O. Gabriella A. Puglisi will be hooded by Linda Eckel, D.O. Monica Rebelak will be hooded by Frank Swisher, DO. Leslie Morgan Rice will be hooded by Jessica Wilson, DO. Kent Alan Rivas will be hooded by his father, Alfredo Rivas, MD. Melina Robertson will be hooded by her father, Dale Robertson, DC. Joseph Rufo will be hooded by James Wadding, DO. Patrick Rutka will be hooded by James Wadding, DO. Kong Tet Sen will be hooded by Amanda Michael, DO. Rosemary Ann Savage will be hooded by Colette Rayner, MD. Courtney Marie Sevilla will be hooded by Nathan Kesner, DO. Rebecca Kate Polano Schilling will be hooded by Jandy Hanna, PhD. Haley Schlarb will be hooded by her father, Christopher Schlarb, MD. Samantha Seafick will be hooded by James Wadding, D.O.
Dilraj Singh Sekhon will be hooded by James Wadding, D.O. Ari Drew Schaefer will be hooded by his brother, Zane Schaefer, M.D. Caitlin Shaheen will be hooded by her brother, Nicholas Shaheen, M.D. Harris Sheikh will be hooded by his mother-in-law, Wahida Iqbal, M.D. Alice Eileen Shallcross will be hooded by Jessica Macaulay, D.O. Taylor Marie Simmerman will be hooded by Randall Short, D.O. Gabriel Skiba will be hooded by Jimmy Adams, D.O. Kendra Beth Smith will be hooded by Grant Parkins, D.O. Andrew McVeigh Stacy will be hooded by Norman Cottrell, D.O. Colton Samuel Steeman will be hooded by David Nicholas, D.O. Ryan Stradley will be hooded by Michael Edelman, D.O. J.D. Philip Kyle Summers will be hooded by Daniel Palermo, M.D. Emily Joy Susanna Servance will be hooded by Dwight Bundy, D.O. Steffi Anthony Thomas will be hooded by Jimmy Adams, D.O. Stephanie Ann Thomas will be hooded by Hamad Husseini, D.O. Katie Thompson will be hooded by Frank Swisher, D.O. Rebecca Thompson will be hooded by James Wadding, D.O. Brent Alexander Thornhill will be hooded by Alfredo Rivas, M.D. Anthony Thorpe will be hooded by Jill Cochran, Ph.D. Yale Morgan Tiley will be hooded by his parents, Gina Bush, M.D., and Edward Tiley, M.D.
Angie 2 will be hooded by Robert Foster, DO. Celise Mackey Funzale will be hooded by Ralph Wood, DO. Katrina Quintillion Villoria will be hooded by Hannah Sehud, MD. Joseph Kenneth Volmer will be hooded by Ralph Wood, DO. Julia Vu will be hooded by Timothy Stonecipher, DO. Christopher Wagner will be hooded by his father, Mark Wagner, DO. Jared Warren will be hooded by Frank Swisher, DO. Taylor Marie Weidman will be hooded by her uncle, Claire Weidman, MD. Evan Allen Welker will be hooded by Ralph Wood, DO. Derek Wayne White Jr. will be hooded by his father, Derek White, Farm D. Tiffany Mae White will be hooded by Gracie Falbo, DO. Claire Marie Ringel Williams will be hooded by her sister, Kelsey McKee, MD. Laura Ann Williams will be hooded by Rebecca Kelso, PhD. Michelle Ashley Wood will be hooded by Dwight Bundy, DO. Benjamin Wurst will be hooded by Brandon Bayshore, DO. Shane Robert Yerrington will be hooded by James Wadding, DO. David Yuna will be hooded by Frank Swisher, DO.
Will the candidates please stand, and will we repeat the osteopathic oath after me? I do hereby affirm my loyalty to the profession I'm about to enter. I'll be mindful always of my great responsibility to preserve the health and life of my patients. I'll be mindful always of my great responsibility to preserve the health and life of my patients. To retain their confidence and respect, both as a physician and a friend. To retain their confidence and respect, both as a physician and a friend. Who will guard their secrets with scrupulous honor and fidelity. To perform faithfully my professional duties. To employ only those recognized methods of treatment. Consistent with good judgment and my skill and ability. Keeping in mind always nature's laws and the body's inherent capacity for recovery. I'll be ever vigilant in aiding in the general welfare of the community. Sustaining its laws and institutions. Not engaging in those practices which will in any way bring shame or discredit upon myself or my profession. I will give no drug for deadly purposes to any person, though it may be asked of me. I will endeavor to work in accord with my colleagues in a spirit of progressive cooperation. And never by word or by act cast imputations upon them or their rightful practices. I will look with respect and esteem upon all those who have taught me my art. To my college, I will be loyal and strive always for its best interest and for the interests of students who will come after me. I'll be ever alert to further the applications of the basic biologic truths to the healing arts. And develop the principles of osteopathy, which were first enunciated by Andrew Taylor Still. Graduates of the class of 2017, you may now move your tassels to the left. And that, my colleagues, brings you to the close of this ceremony. Faculty, guests, family, and friends, please join me in welcoming the newest members of the osteopathic community. Guests, please remain at your seats while the platform party, then the faculty, and then the graduates march out. Graduates will proceed out of the tent and go right to the circle between the clock tower and the main building for the traditional hat toss. Family and friends are invited to join the WVSOM family in this honored tradition. And immediately afterwards, all of our guests are invited to join us at the reception at the Roland P. Sharp Alumni Center, right over on this side of the tent, and on the second floor of the Student Center behind us. We hope that you'll also tour the campus, the buildings, and the campus doors, which will be open for touring most of the afternoon. Maestro, strike up the band.
Gotta get the students.
This was a breeze out here.
Liv. Come here.
Where's your shoes?
I know, I'm threatened.
Threatened?